Education, without a shred of doubt, is the foundation for the development of not only the individual, but also a nation. It broadens the mind, making it receptive to new ideas. Tertiary education is important as it is not just the next level in the learning process, but it is a critical component of human development worldwide. It provides not only the high-level skills necessary for every labor market, but also the essential training for a catholicity of personnel. It is these trained individuals who develop the capacity and analytical skills that drive local economies, support civil society, teach children, lead effective governments, and make important decisions which affect entire societies. It also addresses major social and global challenges as it is a key driver of growth, performance, prosperity, and competitiveness.
There's something produces the shoot. What produces the shoot is called the plywood.
The Nigerian government, admittedly, determined to give our younger generation a brighter and better future, initiated several policies for the education of our citizens at all levels. Unfortunately, the tertiary education system in the country, despite the efforts of government, has not been able to provide a workable and effective policy framework to provide necessary and adequate infrastructure and rejig existing archaic curriculum to reflect present-day realities to enhance performance and competitiveness in a global market.
Nigeria, for now, will say that the standard of education has gone down drastically, not because we don't have the manpower, but because facilities are not put in place. And the number of persons seeking tertiary education, they are more than the number that can be absorbed by the ratio of facilities to students. And that is the serious issue.
To fill this void, the Delta State government, under the watch of Senator Dr. Arthur Ifeanyi-Okowa, has, since assumption of office as governor, initiated policies to make tertiary education function better and build additional infrastructure to accommodate the ever-expanding education needs of young Deltans.
We have had all our courses reaccredited in the various polytechnics. In the university, we have had our courses reaccredited in one, and those that did not have accreditation before, like the law faculty, the engineering faculty, have all been fully accredited. That is quite a lot of stride in the education sector.
Delta State arguably has the highest number of publicly owned higher institutions anywhere in Nigeria, and despite these daunting numbers, the state government has ensured even allocation of resources amidst other competing sectors to ensure they run optimally.
The initial attack on government when these institutions were established was that there were too many. Last year, about 19,000 to 20,000 persons applied to go into the Delta State University, Abaka, first choice. They were able to meet about 4,005 or 5,000. 15,000 were on the waiting list. So if we didn't have the polytechnics that they could go into, if we didn't have that university, if we didn't have the colleges of education, where will these candidates go to? So we've elected in Delta State to develop human infrastructure.
The Okowa-led administration has, through the Ministry of Higher Education, shown commitment towards improving education standards in the ivory towers across the state through dogged policy implementation and zero tolerance to anything substandard.
Government has decided to invest in education. If you put our budgets together, higher education, basic and secondary and technical, is huge. The dividend government expects from our institutions is not the cash, but knowledge, because knowledge drives society. Let us have quality graduates from our institutions.
To get first-hand information about happenings in higher education and inform Deltans in real time, Smart Delta team embarked on visits to the citadels of learning in the state to ascertain the true state of development and interventions of the Okowa-led administration. Our first port of call was to the Delta State Polytechnic Ozoro. Speaking with the registrar, Mr. Samuel Onaibre, he highlights some interventions of government in the school, citing the rehabilitation and construction of some structures such as the Olympic-sized stadium and lecture theaters. Some intangibles he also cited include getting accreditation for 19 courses which were not given the nod ab initio.
His Excellency is somebody who really believes in showcasing what you have. Last year, we presented about 19 programs for accreditation. We got all. There's no way that the Polytechnic would have been able to do it without the support of the state government.
Mr. Onaibre applauded the governor on his efforts at ensuring staff welfare is given maximum attention, especially with the prompt payment of salaries and promotion of staff. This has not only served as encouragement to perform efficiently, but further fueled their drive to pursue higher qualification, thus increasing their efficiency in impacting knowledge in their protégé.
We must appreciate His Excellency. That staff now receive their salaries before the end of the month. It's something that we must appreciate. When I hear the amount that some people collected as arrears, it's arrears that have been pending all these years, many of our staff collected huge amount of money.
Engineer Ukeogene Iboibi, Engineer Michael Onyem and other academic staff testified to the extent of government's provision of equipment in different departments and faculties, which has enhanced practical teaching and learning.
Before now, lecturers don't have offices. Some of them used to work from their cars, and here there is one office. You see 3-4 lecturers squatting in one office. But the governor has intervened in that aspect. We have a new structure that is coming up now, where about 24 or more offices have been provided with additional 8 classrooms and 2 lecture theaters.
We have these ones, we've been praying and begging for them. They are here today. We're so appreciative of this. It's been useful for us. While constructing the stadium, we ran soil test on the environment with some of this equipment, including our administrative building here. That building is sitting in the middle of swamp, and it's very difficult to construct buildings on such kind of terrain. Without such tests, I don't think we would have been able to achieve it.
I thank the government for what they are doing actually. Helping us with structures, aiding equipment. They are really good interventions, really boosting the life of students and even that of lecturers.
Engineer Omokaro Igbologe, head of electrical department, and Christabel, a student of the same department, both lauded government's intervention that has given meaning to education in their institution.
Intervention came from the state government. With that, it enables us to get the necessary facilities and the equipment for the student to actually carry out their practical. Students here are very lucky in terms of equipment.
I give thanks to Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa for making everything possible, like bringing the equipment into the school environment. The equipment have helped us a lot, especially me, in the practical aspect.
Many other students of the school further voiced their thoughts about government's drive to provide a well-rounded education for them. They applauded government for the sports complex, which has not only helped in nurturing homegrown talents, but has equally generated funds for the school.
Before the stadium, Ozoro were known, but not to that large extent. But today, Ozoro is, if I'm not mistaken, one of the polytechnics that have stadium all over the West African. It's a credit to the government and also to the school.
The state government have been of help to our institution. They provide stadium to us. Most of the students who are lovers of sports, we practice, we have our interdepartmental sport competition. It brings unity among departments. Each of us, we are seeing ourselves as one because of the spirit of sports.
Going around the different campuses of the state-owned University, Abraka, the story is no different as glowing testimonies of government intervention abound. Prominent among ongoing constructions is the Senate building, which on completion is expected to house the administrative engine room of the school. There is also the ongoing multi-purpose lecture theatre and Faculty of Science complex in Abraka campus, the Law Faculty in Ole campus, and others at the Anwai campus.
I commend the efforts of Kowa government for bringing this project. This multi-purpose hall here, when it's completed, to provide a bigger lecture venue for students. Students be comfortable and the lecture will be more convenient.
I want to say a very, very big thank you for bringing this project into our school. I pray that God will continue to strengthen you, will continue this good work.
The Delta State Polytechnic, or Gwashiku, has not been left out in these developments. It is worthy of mention that 120 members of staff have been trained on the use of productivity software and internet. This, of course, is without prejudice to other developments, not forgetting full accreditation of programs the institution now enjoys.
We want to really appreciate the state government. A lot of our lecturers, they've gone for conferences, they've gone for training. There's a lot of capacity building opportunity that go on for the lecturers.
It has made things easier because, like, if you don't know how to use system before as a lecturer, now most of them have done a series of training for both our staff, both academic and non-academic staff, on how to use the system, so that it makes it easier for them. When they know how to use it, they can impart the knowledge to students also. And most of our students are computer literate. I don't think we have any student that is not a computer literate student, because all of them go through CBT exams.
Be privileged to be a part of that training 2 times. The first one really helped me, especially in research work. Things that I thought I even know in the MS Word, I came to understand that there are more to what I knew before, and that really helped me.
Smart Delta.
Better run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do it better. Run, come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do. I see your job and work creation in Delta, make the youth say them highlight. Okowa. I see good roads everywhere in Delta, make the people say them cola. Empowerment for the farmers in Delta. Good and quality education in Delta. Well-equipped hospitals here in Delta. Peace and security in Delta.
One standout policy that has urged the Okowa-led administration in the hearts of students and Deltans in general is the introduction of entrepreneurial studies. This policy has come to change the hitherto misplaced emphasis on mere theoretical studies at the expense of skills acquisition and hands-on trade skill set.
We've done quite a lot in trying to rebuild the order in the university and the polytechnic system. So it's not just about the books only, that you need to train up the mind of the child. They have their entrepreneurial department and their entrepreneurial programs that run. And we hope to build it. So I was in a West Group Polytechnic and I was amazed with what I could see them do by themselves. And I believe it is something we'll need to continue to encourage.
Governor Okowa-led administration have seen the need to bridge that gap between practice and theory. And so he came up with the issue of entrepreneurship education, skill acquisition, so that our students, when they graduate, they will not go outside and start looking for jobs. They can become self-reliant. They can employ others.
The Entrepreneurial and Skills Acquisition Center at the Delta State Polytechnic Ogara, College of Education Abo, and others have been well equipped by the government to ensure students are well trained and positioned to become employers of labor and wealth creators on graduation.
Today, government cannot provide everything we need in terms of employment. But for Delta State government, yes, we want to give them kudos for upping the ante, so to say, with respect to EED. We actually teach the students how to use their hands, the manipulative skills to produce things, such that when they leave here at whatever level, whether ND or HND, they are able to fend for themselves using the skills they have acquired.
Apart from school aspect, that is learning aspect, I also acquired the skills. It's okay for me because right now, as a student, I can braid somebody's hair and they'll still pay me even right in the school here. So at times, maybe if I want to buy textbooks or foodstuff, after braiding somebody's hair, they pay me, then I use it.
Entrepreneurship is a very good skill for everybody. This barbing of hair is a very good thing because you can go out now, instead of you wasting your time out there, you can start barbing people's hair and start having your own income from there. I would like to say big thanks to Governor Ifeanyi Okowa for listening he gave to me. At least for now, I'm very okay, very happy seeing myself barbing.
The same testimonies are resonating at the Delta State Polytechnic Ogara, where students who are into trades and crafts are thankful for the opportunity of having a well-balanced education.
After my school now, when there is no job, at least I already know how to sew, so I can just continue from there.
This is what I dream to become a fashion designer. I'll try to work hard to achieve my dream.
After learning fashion and designing, you can employ yourself by opening a store. When you open a store, God also will be bringing people that will come and work in your hand. From there, you can achieve good success.
The school also enjoys reasonable degree of infrastructural development and the provision of equipment, which has impacted tremendously on teaching and learning. A ready example is the welding and machine workshop.
Our days we don't have those type of machine when we are in the higher institution. But now we see new machines coming out. The youth of this period, when they work with those machines, at least they will be grounded technologically.
Full accreditation of courses is very important to the academic well-being of a tertiary institution. To this extent, Deputy Provost, College of Education Warri, Dr. Mrs. Philippa Ogaun, lauded the efforts of the Okowa-led administration that made it happen for her school. Having accredited courses means having more professional areas to train and prepare students for life. She didn't miss out on improved conditions of work, which is key to performance.
If our courses are not accredited, the implication is that we will no longer run those programs. And so we thank His Excellency for ensuring that we did not lose any of our programs during accreditation. Salaries are promptly paid. They are paid as at when due. Before now, they say our wages are in heaven, but our wages are here now. So we are grateful to His Excellency.
As lecturers in this noble College of Education, we have no cause to regret having him as our governor, especially when it has to do with payment of salary. Of course, we know without money, nothing can function as far as any society is concerned. We have a lot of projects going on and all from his support.
The staff and students of the school also spoke on how the school has been in a good stead since Governor Kowa took over the reins of governance.
We want to say thank you to Her Excellency for seeing the need of providing this thing to help our students. And we pray God to continue to bless and guide him.
I really appreciate this course I'm reading in the sense that when I'm done with my studies, instead of me looking for a government job, I can set my own enterprises by myself. I really appreciate the government for providing this equipment for us.
I want to commend Governor Okowa for his numerous impacts in the growth and development of this school. As you can see, we have students relaxing here. This is a student relaxation spot. It was to the international Governor Okowa that we have this place. I want to commend Governor Okowa for the payment of students' bursaries. Since 2015 to date, he has been paying bursaries.
As for the College of Education Mosoga, the provost revels in the fact that government's intervention in different aspects of their academic life couldn't have been timelier. Groans and excuses for poor performance on the part of teachers and students alike cannot be part of the current dispensation, as things are far better. However, there is room for improvement, he added. The icing on the cake for him is prompt payment of salaries, which has become a mere routine. They are equally happy with the building of a 300-bed hostel, which has addressed the problem of accommodation, among other developments.
This college, being a college of physical education, then we were having handicaps on funds and all that. We weren't having good hostels. But immediately he put up a very magnificent hostel for us. So our students are very, very comfortable in terms of accommodation. He has been nursing this college, to a very great height, and we are very, very happy.
Before now, we have accommodation problem. We are many in the room, but with this new hostel now, we are more convenient than we were in the last hostel. So I thank the state government for giving us this building.
The hostel that the government provides for us is very good. The accommodation are well, so we are very, very comfortable in the hostel.
Some members of staff also applauded the governor for ensuring the completion of the indoor sports hall, among other developments.
this is a project that ought to have been named an abandoned project. But you can see now that the Okowa administration is reviving it and they are working seriously on this project. This is the college indoor sports hall, and it's meant for sporting activities, not for only the students of this college, but for international students, because this school was laid on the bedrock of sporting activities before.
Okowa, the roadmaster, is a friend to this community. This indoor sport tour, before the end of this year, it will be completed. If it's not the listening type, I don't think he will have endorsed it for us. Thank God, God sent a Messiah to this state.
It is also worthy of mention that School of Health and Food Technology Ufoma Ogeli, which though existed before the Okowa-led administration, has however had lots of input by way of upgrades of facilities and policy implementation, which have made the school run more or less on autopilot.
We actually started the school with less than 4 departments. Now we have 14 departments, 20 programs. Very recently also, through his help, we were able to have the ambulance, which enabled us to have the accreditation for the paramedics. Paramedics is the only school right now training the paramedics program, and that's been through his help and great support. We appreciate the fact that he's been giving us attention all the time.
Speaking to some of the students and staff, they expressed gratitude to the government for repositioning the school in particular and the higher education system in the state.
The medical lab students have been having challenges in their external exam, and without that exams, they will not graduate. But with the support of His Excellency, they renovated the lab up to 44 unit first intake. And with that, the following year, 2018, the result was bad from external examination.
I want to say a very, very big thank you to the state government, because the classrooms are very, very conducive, very, very okay, encourage learning.
The accommodation system is nice, it's good to talk about. I want to say a very big thank you to Governor Ifeanyi Okowa.
The library services, which complements tertiary education in research and studies, has also been given due attention by the Okowa-led government. With the recent completion of the well-equipped e-library with access to e-books and millions of downloadable books, study materials and journals that aid research, the Okowa-led administration has further demonstrated its commitment to leave a lasting legacy that will bode well for the future.
Today's technological world, this is what you need. You can access the world from here. This is going to serve as many Deltans as are willing to expand their knowledge.
When I came across this library, I was really, really excited. When I got into the library, I looked at the facilities, the books that they have, and then the ambience of the place. And for me, it was really cool. And owing to the fact that I do a lot of studies. So for me, it's really, really valuable and really important in my career.
Amongst other libraries I've visited, I think this one, it ranks very high amongst most of them. It's a good facility, and they have the e-library. So once you log on to them, wherever you are, you can access most of the books they have online. For this facility has done very well, and many other projects across the state.
The first day I came here, I was looking for a book on gynecology, and I was surprised to find it. I'm very happy for this kind of environment. I want to tell them thank you for helping myself and other students.
No state or nation can grow and develop without a solid education foundation and well-articulated policy backing it up, geared towards preparing the younger generation for the future. Thus, the action of the Okowa-led administration to build a strong education subsector is seen by many as yet another milestone towards building a stronger Delta.
Come to Delta State, come and see the good things where Okowa they do you better. Run, come come to Delta State. Come and see the good things where Okowa they do. I see your job and work creation in Delta. Make the youth say them highlight Okowa. I see good roads everywhere in Delta. Make the people say them cola. Come live in Delta. Say me I say. Come invest in Delta. Come explore the potentials of our state.